I want to know where you're watching from, and I know we were meant to go live yesterday. Things didn't really work out, but we're here now. So let's dive straight into it. So in this video, we're going to talk about solo goalkeeper training, why it is important for you to train by yourself, and how you can actually do it. But if this is your first time on the channel, we provide training videos as well as tips and advice videos just like this one. So please consider subscribing if that's your first time on the channel. And now let's dive right into it. So being a goalkeeper, it's quite a lonely job, and it's very hard to get quality training, especially if you don't play for a well-established club. Of course, those sorts of clubs, they have professional coaches, very knowledgeable and experienced. But when you play on grassroots level or senior level in your local team, majority of those teams, they don't have any goalkeeping coaching, and sometimes even if they do, it might be not a very good quality. So the struggle is real, and I understand that. So it's very, very important to train by yourself. And even if you do have professional goalkeeping coaching, there's still so much things that you can do by yourself at home, outside. And I know it can be very difficult when you do it by yourself, but there's so many simple exercises which we're going to dive into in this video. Now, why is individual training important? Well, David De Gea said that he's training every single day to be the best goalkeeper in the world. And Hope Solo said that her confidence comes from the daily grind, training her butt off day in and day out. And of course, yes, they do receive professional coaching, but on your level, you can still do a lot of training by yourself every single day, even just for 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, focused, short exercises that focus on one skill. By training on your own, you develop and improve key goalkeeping components, and there's no need to rely on someone else to deliver a good session or to deliver a good service, and you can focus a lot more on conditioning your body. So you can work on things like handling, footwork, strength, so strengthening your core. You can work on things like reactions, that's a big one, and coordination is a massive component that you can work on. But before you grab the ball and go out and train, there are some steps to follow, okay? They are very, very important steps, and the first step before you go out and train is a SWOT analysis. And what SWOT analysis is basically a breakdown of your strength, weaknesses, opportunities that you may have, and any threats that can prevent you from additional training. So just spend a couple of minutes thinking about and writing down 5 to 10 strengths and weaknesses. So things that you think you're good at, and things that you feel you need more practice with and you need a little bit more experience. And then spend another few minutes on trying to find out what sort of opportunities do you have to train. So does your team provide any coaching? Is there any goalkeeping coaching clinics around you, or is there any events happening around you, like goalkeeping camps? And they usually happen during school holidays, so do your research and find out if there are any additional opportunities for you to train, and if not, find out when you can train and just seek for those little opportunities during the day, during the week, when you can put some training in. And then you have your threats. So threats, think about anything that can make it harder for you to train or may prevent you from going out and training. So any additional commitments, weather can be a big one, the equipment. Okay, so when you determine those threats, you can then think about solutions to them. So the whole point of this analysis is to understand yourself and your circumstances on a deeper level, so that you can improve and then plan accordingly and focus just on things that you need to be focusing on. After you do that, after you do that, we need to set some goals for yourself. And setting goals is extremely important, and any professional athlete is setting goals for themselves. This is a crucial part of any training, and if you can incorporate this into your daily life, it's going to explode your results. Your results are just going to go sky up, because what goal setting is doing, it's improving your performance, because you target specific skills or components that are related to goalkeeping, and you just target those specific things that you might not be as good at. And also it provides you with a lot of motivation, because when you have a goal to achieve, you have something to aspire to, and you have that, and the end goal, the end destination that you want to get to, and then you have the steps, you have all the steps you need to take in order to get there. So it can be very powerful, and Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. But of course, you need to put some work in and really think about specific goals. What is it that you're trying to achieve in a few years? What you're trying to achieve in a few months, in a few weeks? What do you want to achieve by next week? Okay, so things like that. And when you set your goals, you need to remember to be as specific as possible. So instead of saying, I want to play for a world-class team, so that's very generic. Try to be more specific in setting your goals. So if you're thinking about that example, you can put something like, I want to play for Manchester United. I don't know, it's just an example, okay? That was the first team that came into my mind. And you can just put a specific team, maybe a specific place, or maybe it's maybe you want to go more into coaching. So instead of saying I want to be a goalkeeper coach, say I want to be a goalkeeper coach in this and that team, coaching under 10s goalkeepers. Okay, so be as specific as you can. And of course your goals need to be realistic, because setting unrealistic goals can make it a lot harder for you to achieve them. And if you don't achieve your goals, you get frustrated, and it can bring your motivation right down, and it's not about that. It's about boosting your confidence. So make sure your goals are realistic. So don't say anything like, I want to play for Barcelona next month. Well, unless you're already in the team, and unless you're already training there, and have some connections. Well, that's not possible. Okay, so it is something to aspire to, but just make it realistic. Okay, and lastly, put a deadline onto every goal. So pick a specific date. So really specific date, like 23rd of August 2022, or you can just put a single year, single month, and because what you do by putting a deadline, you put a little bit of pressure. Okay, you're putting a little bit of pressure on yourself to achieve that goal on time. Okay, and it actually pushes you to do more and to go further with your training. So those are the steps to design your goals. And lastly, before you go out and actually do your training, you need to have a schedule. So you actually need to plan when you're going to do your trainings, where are they going to be done, things like that. And remember, I love this quote. Okay, the two quotes actually, they are very powerful. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Yeah, very powerful, and it really speaks for itself. Okay, because you can have all the goals, big dreams, but if you don't have a plan, if you don't have that roadmap, well, how can you get there, right? When you go somewhere, when you're going on a trip, but you don't have a map, how are you going to get there? You need to research if you're taking a bus, which route are you taking. You need to put the address in the navigation system. So your training schedule is basically that roadmap of taking you from where you are to achieving your goal. And the second quote that I really love is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I really love this quote because planning is an essential part of any business people, any high achievers really. So any sportsmen and sportswomen, you have to have a plan. Okay, so when you design your schedule, think about when you're actually going to do your trainings, and do you have time for maybe a mini session, like is it going to be an hour long, is it going to be half an hour long, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, how long is going to be, where are you going to do that training, is it going to be outside, is it going to be in your house, at the gym? There's plenty of stuff you can do at the gym, don't forget that. Do you need any equipment? Do you have any equipment? In terms of equipment, if you have a football, you've got enough to start. Okay, you really have enough, and you can adapt and you can get creative with your equipment. So you can use chair, you can use all sorts of everyday stuff. And what I really like to put into my schedule is today's challenge. So what is the biggest challenge for today's session? Is the weather bad? Or I don't have much equipment, or I want to beat my yesterday's score on distribution practice. Okay, so what is today's challenge? And lastly, what's the best thing about today? So after you do your training, what was the best thing about it? Okay, really reflect, spend 2-3 minutes on reflecting. How did the session go? What went good? What went bad? What could have gone better? And how it can improve on for the next time. Okay, and that's it. That's your schedule. That's your schedule done. So you know yourself better. You've got your goals set. and now you've got a schedule to follow. You can always adapt your schedule as you go, so you can do it every single week or every month, and if there are any changes, you can make them as you go. Sorry. So being a goalkeeper, okay, this is very important. Being a goalkeeper, is not all about those fingertip saves, okay, those top corner saves, although it is really fun and very satisfying when you make those type of saves. But to be fair, today's greatest goalkeepers, they rely on fast footwork, clean hands, soft hands, okay, agility, on point distribution, that's a big one in a modern game, as well as coordination and strength. And the good news is that you can train all of those components by yourself. You don't need anybody else to help you to improve on those skills. You can do them at home, you can do them outside, you can do them anywhere really, at the gym, okay, and you don't need anyone, just you, your will, and your will to learn as well, okay, and adapt. Before we go any further, if you're finding value out of this video so far, can you smash that like button? Please show your support if you're finding value, and let me know in the comments below if you've already started your individual goalkeeping training. Have you ever done that? Let me know, I'd like to know, and if not, if there's anything I can help you to start. In this video series, so this is the start of a much bigger goalkeeping series on solo training, and we're going to cover a lot of topics like strength and conditioning, footwork, handling, reactions, and diving. So there will be 5 big topics to cover in the next few weeks. So if you'd like to get notified when those videos come up, definitely hit that bell icon down below, somewhere there or there, I don't know where I'm showing, but click that icon and you will get notified when those videos come up, okay. I've got something to show you before we wrap it up. I've got something to show you, a simple exercise that you can do anywhere. All you need is one football, just one football, and you can do it anywhere. And if you spend 10 to 15 minutes a day, every single day, on that exercise, this will really help you to get a better feel of the ball, okay. And we will be working our fingers, okay, so our finger muscles, we're going to practice our grip, okay, and training those muscle memory around the ball, and just have a little feel. And what this will do, it will help you whenever you go out and train, do a full session, or even in your game, it will really improve your handling. Okay, so I've got my ball right here, okay, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to show you, okay, what I mean, what you're going to do. So basically, you're going to pass the ball from hand to hand, okay, really working those fingers. So try not to do it flat-handed like this, that's not going to work, okay. Really engage those fingertips and squeeze in the ball, and I want you to go all the way up, and remember, look at the ball at all times, and as you go down as well, all the way so the ball touches the floor, and then bring it back up, okay. Looking at the ball, you can increase distance, okay. You can decrease the distance, you can speed up as you go as well. So you can do it slowly to start off with, and once you feel more confident, you can really speed up and go down again and up. You can even do it with a tennis ball if you don't have a football, but I'm assuming you do. Alright, really simple exercise, and again, you can do it anywhere. You can even do it when you before you go to bed, you can just lie down and just spend 5 minutes reflecting on about the day, what's happened today, what was good, what was bad, what are you going to do tomorrow, are you going to train, are you going to have a little rest, and even just before going to bed. That will help you massively with your handling and having that soft, strong grip. Okay, and I've got one more thing to show you. This little ball, this is a reaction ball. It looks funny, and it's really small. And what it does, when you bounce it off of a wall, of a floor, you've got no idea where it's going to go. It can go anywhere, and it's very cheap. You can get it off eBay for £2. I think the most expensive I've seen was around £6, which I don't understand, because I bought this one for £2 off eBay, and it really it's a low cost. And what it does, it really trains your reactions and your hand and eye coordination. So if you bounce it off the wall, you need to react to it, and so you need to see where it goes, and then your hands need to react accordingly. Okay, and again, you can do that every day at home. Okay, all you need to do is to stand in front of the wall and throw it at the wall and react and try to catch it. Try to catch it both hands, try to catch it one hand, okay, and really work on that eye and hand coordination and your reactions. And remember, closer you stand to the wall, less time you will have to react, and further away you stand from the wall, you'll have a little bit more time to react. So you can adjust depending on how you get on. And I don't know if I should demonstrate it. In a very small area, but yeah, let's have a go. Right, so if you throw it on the wall, I'm going to throw it at the wall. Oh, so I'm going to throw it at the wall. So this time it went right into my hands, but it can go anywhere. And it bounces in the different directions, and you basically need to react accordingly. So it's a very, very cool thing to do, a very cool thing to play with, and I really recommend it. It will sharpen your mind as well. You will be able to react a lot quicker. Right, so this is a second live stream on this channel, and the previous one that I've done was about 5 goalkeeping essentials, and if you'd like to check that out, I'm gonna put a link in the description below, and I'll link it up in the card right there, or for another video from Master Goalie, I'm gonna